nice to feel a prick in your mouth every now and then.
That's what I'm saying. And listen, you said scar tissue.
Oh, we're filming.
You're filming and recording.
Oh my God. Wait, how long have we been filming and recording for?
1 minute.
Every formula.
Coming at you live from Venus. Uncle Dre and Auntie Chris bring you Gangster Goddess Broadcast.
Are you gonna have a drink? Let's toast to the launch of Gangster Goddess Broadcast, Chris.
Okay, we got to toast. Salute. We got to like chin chin.
I want to get drunk before I toast.
Okay.
Hold on, let me get drunk and then we'll toast. Hold on.
Okay.
Let's toast.
Vitavixen.
Welcome to Gangster Goddess Broadcast, our first busted and just.
Busted and readjusted.
Guys, we just ate a ton of katsuya and now I'm getting drunk.
Yeah, we're popping Dre's cherry again. Oh, okay.
Oh, you want us to slate? I thought we started already.
You didn't slate, so
So
Okay.
it doesn't count?
Busted and readjusted. Busted and readjusted episode 3. What do we call this?
random.
God, you're hot.
Yeah?
Yeah, he's hot. Can I just flirt with him while we're doing this episode?
If I can take a nap.
I'm going to
All
be
right,
totally
busted and
hammered.
readjusted episode.
Episode
We don't know episode. We don't know what the fuck episode. That's what it's
He's
called.
going to be so confused when he's editing, by the way.
Who's me?
Yeah, because you're
No,
not
he's
going to
not. We're great. You know why? Because I'm in charge right now.
have. Great.
And we don't know what we're doing right now,
No,
guys.
we know
but-
what we're doing.
No, we don't really know what we're doing. And I think that is charming. I think that's okay.
You're
I think that
charming.
it's okay for people to know that right now with this episode, it's more of a light test. It's we just ate a lot. We're drinking.
I think it's about, I feel like there's a lot of people wondering why we jumped ship
Why we jump ship.
So I think-
and who we are to each other. Exactly.
and why we added this other segment to the show.
Yes.
So where do we start?
Well,
I'm going to get a drink.
why don't
right
we
now.
talk about I don't know. I wish we could talk to our audience.
Well,
I want to talk to the listeners.
Okay. I think.
I'm sick of talking to me and you.
I know, but I think we
We're
should
crazy.
I think we should answer the question: why are we not made women anymore?
Okay, go
and
ahead.
why are we gangster goddesses? And added the segment. So what you go first because I'll chime in.
I think initially when we were approached to do a podcast, Chris and I gave them our initial idea, which were busted and readjusted stories, because she and I are always, we've got, everybody on this planet. The reason why people watch movies is to watch people get busted and readjusted.
Yeah.
And it's because they can relate to certain movies and certain things. So when we did not get an okay for that type of podcast, but they wanted a Soprano rewatch instead, we realized that we could do that because
You're on The Sopranos. Dun, dun, dun.
there's that.
There's that.
I think it
Full
was
circle.
because we can because you watch people in movies and you relate to them.
Yeah.
Like you watch a love story and you're like, I just went through that.
Yeah.
Or, anything. So The Sopranos has so many crazy topics that are timely, relatable, topical, worldly, and timeless. So we jumped on the Soprano rewatch. So we're going to continue with that, but we also are going to divert slightly into our busted and readjusted segments. So sometimes they'll be about guests. Sometimes they'll be about people that we're actually talking about, women in history, female gangsters in history that have triumphed or not. And then there's going to be, friends. Like we want to talk to our friends and folks that have been through stuff that, but I think more than anything, people don't know our relationship. So we feel like,
even before that, I feel like what really busted us up. I mean, yes, we were in this partnership and, going through with the Sopranos rewatch, we kind of fell in love with that platform, after we were.
did.
And I feel like it was heartbreaking to a certain degree of putting our blood, sweat, and tears. And like, this is just our most recent busted and readjusted, but we had to like figure it out and pivot. And you feel like your life is on one plan and that you make these plans and everything's going to be great. And then you have to totally readjust around that and start over.
It's like meeting a guy. It's like meeting a guy and you think he's the answer to
The
all your
one.
dreams and
Yeah.
he's the one. And then he's more busted than you are.
Yeah.
So now you're trying to fix this
And
guy.
we had Prince Charming.
So yeah, we had Prince Charming come and wish, give us the world. And then things weren't, and not any fault of anybody else's, just
Didn't work
things,
out.
People weren't, sometimes a man isn't as evolved as
They
you wish
weren't
they
our
were.
soulmates.
It was a new company. So we were new, they were new, everybody was green. We were all kind of learning together. And Chris and I just sort of felt like, well, we built this thing on our own. And why not just keep growing it on our own? We
Yeah.
planted all
But
the seeds by ourselves. We may as well keep watering it. We don't need the help of anybody else at this
But
point.
for us, I feel like that was a really tough decision to make.
Well, we didn't want
know?
to plant a garden for someone else and let them eat
Yeah.
all of the food.
All of the fruits.
We wanted to share a little bit more of the food. It was time for us
yeah.
to go.
But it's a tough.
It was a good thing. We all learned a lot.
Yeah.
It was an amicable parting of ways, and it is what it is. And
And we
more
tried.
than anything,
we
Chris and
learned.
I know that we want to. We enjoy this podcast format.
Yeah.
Even though I've never seen a podcast in my life, not
my
even
God.
my own,
Oh my
not even the previous one that we were on.
God help me.
But we want to go beyond just the Sopranos rewatch, because that's going to end after 7 seasons, and we want to keep going after that. So we want other things to be able to dive into. So I think more importantly, we should kind of tell you guys a little bit about our
bus.
relationship and how we met and how we fell in love and why we even ended up in a podcast situation. Because I'll tell you what, man, Chris is like,
What am I like?
Chris is my manager.
No, I am not your
Yeah,
manager.
she's like my manager.
Oh God.
You're the boss.
No.
So I feel like,
Don't-
okay,
Nope.
Chris has been through hell and back before she and I met.
Yeah.
I've been through hell and back. I go to hell every 6 months.
You're at a good 7.
I like to visit hell every day. It doesn't need to be circumstantial. I can go to hell just by myself. I'm one of those types. Fucking actors.
God help me again. Oh Jesus, what did I sign up for? Okay, just joking.
But she keeps me out of the dark as much as possible, which is great.
I love you.
But she and I started so many different projects, and it mainly was born out of exercising together. It's really out of two
Yeah.
bitches aging. And we're going to be really honest about this.
Yeah.
Like, it's fucking no joke. I remember telling an ex-boyfriend of mine who was not in his mid-40s yet, once you hit 42, everything changes. You're not sure if you're going to stay on the path you're on or if you're going to completely change paths, because you know that 40 to 50 is the final climb to the middle of your life. And
God,
once you hit
really?
50, you start climbing down
I mean,
now.
I don't know if I feel that
I feel
way
like you go
yet.
up, 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 up until you're 50.
Maybe.
And then at 50, you're like, am I staying here? Like, how do I want to spend my life coming down
Coming
the hill? Because
down.
going
That
up the
makes
hill is
sense.
so hard,
Yeah.
Learning about yourself, all the
Who
different
you
things.
want to surround yourself with.
Everything.
Whether it's a
But as you're
romantic
coming down the
relationship,
mountain
yeah.
and you're not so out of breath,
Mhm.
how do you want to walk down that mountain? Do you still want to have a fucking stranglehold on yourself? Do you still want to be tied to all these old ideals and ways of thinking? Or do you want to liberate yourself so that when you're going down, you feel free, finally?
Yeah.
So I feel like that's a big time in one's life.
Well,
That ex-boyfriend did not understand or agree with me on
Okay,
anything.
So now that you're saying that, we got to get into
So-
that. So I would get, okay.
that busted me up.
We knew each other through the same circles. My husband was actually friends with her and her ex.
My other ex.
Your other ex.
I have a lot of. I'm like Liz Taylor. I'm just calling me Elizabeth Taylor.
Your daddy, your kids'
Baby
daddies,
daddy,
your
baby
daddies. But you and I like really started bonding. I don't know, like the kids, the girls, maybe at the school. I don't know, but we started working out together. But we had talked on the phone a few times before about like weird things, like skincare, like or texted. Remember?
Yeah,
like,
it was two
weird.
girls that really wanted to share, like Chris, wanted beauty secrets, any kind of, and a lot of girls don't fucking want you to know what they do.
And you were so open.
And
you were
I'm just like,
here you go.
Yeah, like
all I remember is you taking, I just remember like, dude, this chick's rad. She's a major actress. And she's like, you just took all these pictures of all your like beauty creams and stuff. And you're like, this is
Oh,
what
I
I use.
remember
Do that. You know,
I didn't have
Obagi, remember? And I was like, Dave, she is cool. And then but we still, we
she's not an asshole.
she's not an
like all
asshole
actors.
actress. But we weren't still on each other's radar 100%. And we
No.
just kept on, we saw each other, we'd say hi, hang out a little bit, and then we just miss each other a little bit. And then finally, I don't know, the girls or something maybe bonded.
I don't know
one night.
what it was, but I slipped into a massive depression, which hasn't happened to me in years since I was a kid. And I don't even know if you knew I was in a real depression, but you knew I was having all
I'm a
kinds of
Pisces.
problems
I
in my
know
relationship
everything.
and stuff.
Yeah.
And it was really weighing me down. And that's not like me. It was never like me to be dragged down by a relationship ever.
Well, you lost yourself for a
And
second.
I lost myself. But and we'll talk about all that stuff at some point when we get into more busted and readjusted stuff, because I think that it's impossible to encapsulate what busted and readjusted means to any one person, because we're always transforming.
Yeah.
We're always transcending and transforming and changing our lives. I mean, if you think about a child and they come into this life and, you know, they're learning how to brush their teeth, and then they're learning how to hold a spoon. And every day is a fucking transition of
Yeah.
learning. And sometimes they get it right and some days they don't. And that's us as adults too. So I think we're more than a Soprano rewatch,
Oh my God. So much more.
but we're so much like Tony Soprano.
Why? How?
Why? I'll tell you why. Panic attacks in an Italian world. Me having panic attacks out of nowhere. I remember my first panic attack. I was at the Cannes Film Festival, and we were sitting in the very front of the theater at David Lynch's premiere of Mulholland Drive, I think it was.
Mhm.
And I couldn't believe I was even there. I was just a fucking kid. Like
20 something?
I was young, and I was there with an ex-boyfriend. There's a lot of ex-boyfriends. With Mike.
I know
And,
everyone has like 3 hours to go through all your exes.
Elizabeth Taylor. But anyways, yeah, it was my first panic attack ever, and it was the fucking scariest thing. And I didn't know what
That's
to
brutal.
make of it. I didn't know what to make of that.
It feels like a boot is like someone's like stepping on your chest with like a size 12 boot.
And you don't even know what the triggers are, why it's happening. But I think I was living in a perpetual panic attack when you and I became friends. And I was trying to calm myself by staying in a constant state of meditation to the point where I wasn't leaving my house.
I remember, yeah.
So exercise to me, like this, I stopped exercising in my late 20s.
We started walking. I think, weren't we walking around your neighborhood?
Yeah.
I think we started
And
walking.
I would say to you, can we start on the top of the mountain? Because I don't want to walk up any mountains right now. I said, I'm walking up enough fucking mountains. Please don't make me walk up a physical mountain. So she would start at the top of a mountain with me and walk down the mountain.
Yeah.
And we would just talk. So we talk nonstop. But still, we
Everything
never thought we
constant.
should do a podcast.
No, that just came, like that fell in our laps.
We've been working on an alcohol company of a drink that Chris made a while ago. And then we got overwhelmed by how tedious the task was of actually getting it to market.
Yeah.
But everybody wanted it. So we pursued it, and we allowed other people to pursue it with us.
And now we're doing it, by the way.
And now
by
it
the
just
way,
fell in our lap again.
laps again.
I know.
So
that's
that's
exciting.
That's really exciting.
So we started with that, and then we started with these
we
were
were
our
working
different
out.
ideas for businesses, though. Our other idea for our other business that we were working really hard on at first, and then we bailed on it because that also became very overwhelming, was the healthcare thing. We wanted to start
Oh,
a
yeah.
platform where people, like-minded people, could find each other that were going through a similar crisis within healthcare, depending on what their diagnosis was. There are a few apps out there, but nothing like what Chris and I were talking about, which was very specialized. And that brings me to Chris's Busted and Readjusted story, which she and I have never really
You always wrap
100
stuff in a nice little bow.
this is something
you're
that
the
I'm learning.
closer, or you're the connector. You're
I'm
the
learning it. I'm
connector.
long-winded, but I'm definitely learning how to tie things together.
I mean,
for a
sure,
podcast and a
snappy.
TV show.
I'm so impressed with you.
It's my new favorite
I know
thing.
this is your
I've been
like
working on it.
This is your one thing that you need to work on, and you're doing a great job.
I'm hammered,
Okay.
by the way, guys. fucking hammered.
Okay.
Hold on. Can we
Okay,
smoke
drink-
on here? Can we smoke a
Okay. So my
By the way, can I just say something? People love your laugh. On our last podcast, people would write in how much they love Chris's laugh. And because I'm an actor, it's the best laugh.
I get like I cringe a little bit.
Oh no, you sound like my family growing up drinking
my
whiskey.
God.
But because I'm an actor,
Your uncle.
I hear myself fucking copying your laugh when we're together.
Well, that's what happens. You have a relationship with people and you grow towards them. And we pick up
yeah, but
positive
I'm an
things,
actor,
hopefully.
so I'm really gonna mimic you while we're in
That's
here.
funny. That's good.
Full
Now I
on.
can hear it. I can hear my laugh because I don't you don't hear your own laugh. Anyway,
Anyhow.
our busted and readjusted story.
Can I pick my teeth?
You can do whatever you want. What is yours? What is yours? Like, what is the most prominent that when someone asks you, what is your busted and readjusted story? What's the first story that comes to mind for you? Like, what is your biggest triumph or something that you had to get over? Or maybe you're still working through it.
We need lots of mini-sodes for this. If anybody's ever interested in my busted and readjusted stories, we can obviously visit them. I feel busted now. I'll be honest with you. I feel busted and I feel readjusted. I feel like what we're doing right now, I'm a little scared. I'm scared, and I don't want to.
Yeah,
I don't want to
me too.
not say that. I don't want to be
We're not
the
cool.
guy
We're not
who can't
cool.
say that.
Yeah.
We left this company. It was a nice pad. It was nice to know that
We're
it was nice to know that all the mistakes that were being made
Weren't ours.
consistently were not ours. So now the mistakes that are going to be made will be ours. We have to take responsibility for it. We haven't made any yet.
Because we haven't typically launched
Yeah,
yet.
the show hasn't launched yet. We might kill each other.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
We've been fighting. It's
fight-
okay.
But by the way, we fight really well.
Well, then we write each other love notes.
I know. It's really nice. It's really nice.
It's
Listen,
it's
it's
the
all
kind of
about the-
relationship you wish you had with everybody in your life. But
Agreed.
we're here to show everybody that you can have that relationship with everyone in your life if you just put in the time and the effort and you don't turn your back on people.
Yeah.
But sometimes you do have to turn your back on certain things when it's time to
To go.
let it go.
Well, I think our whole thing, you mentioned the alcohol brand that we were starting, VitaVixen.
We're drinking that right now.
We're drinking that right now.
Cheers.
Cheers. It's infused with vitamins, so we're actually multitasking right now as we drink. This is not an ad. But I feel like our whole thing has always been about sisterhood. Even the basis and why we came up with this drink, it was about community, sisterhood, and bringing people together.
Yeah, community.
Yeah.
And we were spelling it unity in capital letters.
No, we were not.
I was. In my
your
notes.
brain, in
That's
your
how
brain.
in my notes.
In your brain.
In my notes.
Okay.
When I would be in my crazy meditations and I
Oh
would
my
think to myself, as much as I'm focusing on community
Yeah.
and as much as I'm focusing on how it's so crazy how people, we're in this computer age
Yeah.
where everyone's isolating. Everyone was talking about virtual concerts, that this is the new way the kids want to do it. This is the new way of the world. And I was like, fuck that. That's out of
Yeah.
fucking control. People are crazy. So a lot of our booze thing was born out of bringing people together again, because since we are an Italian podcast, there are statistics that prove that in Italy, communities and the elders would stay alive until their late 90s. And then once the technology took over, and a lot of kids were moving out of those neighborhoods and they were searching for different kinds of lifestyles, the elders were dying much younger.
Yeah.
So it was the breakdown in humanity to a certain degree.
Our thing also, like a lot of people write in from Made Women, our old podcast, and they said they can our friendship, I've gotten a lot of these emails, it jumps off to them. Like they really resonate with that sisterhood. And I feel like a lot of women, they have a problem finding, it's an issue trying to find people other women that are supportive. And we're just like exclusive, including everybody.
Yeah,
And
women who
bringing
don't
it
like to support other women.
is tough.
There's a part of me that wants to rage against a woman like that, but then the other part of me, because you know me, whenever there's someone who has a bone to
You
pick.
want to break them down.
I don't want to break them down.
No, break them down. Like you want to bring them in.
I want to
mean,
bring
like,
them in. I
but
want to be like, hey, what happened to you?
I meant
Like,
break
why-
them down in the purest
Yeah,
sense.
yeah.
Like you want to be like, what's wrong? How can we fix this?
I know.
Like you want to break
I'm the
that
can
issue.
opener.
Yeah, you want to break that
can
issue
opener.
down. And
One of my ex-boyfriends called me the can opener.
but that's the thing. Like honestly, I really about you. What I saw when I first met you, or was like bonding with you, is like that effort and that like that. It just there's not a lot of when you find women out there like that. You hold on to them and you show that and you go the distance, for that friendship. And I think that you really put in a lot of effort too. And I was like, that's fucking rad. Because some people are so just caught up in their own shit,
I'm pretty caught up in my own shit, dude.
No,
I
but
mean,
you're like
let's call a spade a spade.
You're caught up in your own shit, but you also you reciprocate the love, the effort, all of that.
I mean,
It doesn't fall on you blindly.
you're one of the few people, because my main friends don't live in LA. They live in New York. So Amanda and Ginger, you're probably, and all my girls that are here, like Yael, all the New Yorkers. But you're the first person. You're probably one of the, I mean, everyone else sort of just appeared in my life somehow in weird ways, partying, whatever. You were like, you reminded me of me. And I had never experienced someone acting like me. And now, word from the GGB sponsor sofa.
God, she looks really hot right now. I wonder if she's on her period again. Well, at least she's not going to be wearing those diapers anymore. Thanks, Proof Panties.
Oh boy, I know that look. Someone's hungry. Oh, damn. I think I just leaked through my tampon. Oh, who cares? I got on my Proof panties. Nothing can ruin these vintage jeans. Thanks, Proof panties, for your leak lock patent. Now just as long as I can keep this beast off of me tonight. Oh, I might have to go back to my diapers. I used to be a certain way when I had a lot of money. I was the guy who would order fucking clothes to my house and have Amanda,
Everyone come through.
come and try your fucking shoes on and see which YSL boots you want today, honey. That I couldn't afford to do that
Why did I
anymore.
know you then?
Well, here, another disclaimer, guys. Y'all probably think I'm loaded because I was on The Sopranos. Well, here you go. We don't get residuals from The
Oh, my
Sopranos.
God.
So another reason to do a podcast on the show is because I never made money off the show.
That's crazy.
And
We can do a whole episode on that.
I don't know about the other cast members, but
No,
I
everybody
never
says the
did.
same
And
thing,
I
yeah.
can't walk down a street without somebody yelling Adriana at me. And I'm almost 50. Like, I don't even look like this 20-year-old
Yes, you do.
kid anymore, but yet it doesn't take care of my family or anything. So I've had a big struggle financially, and most people that are around me, that are close to me, know that, but most people would never know that.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's okay for me to fucking say it out loud. So anyway, being a single mom, it's not fucking easy.
But
So
that's,
Chris
do you
is a-
understand exactly what you just did right there is what was so attractive to
I'm
me.
going to start crying.
No, but you understand that? You're so fucking real and you don't give a shit. Just keep drinking. You really just like, you are who you are and you're okay with it. And you're like, I am who I am. I'm not going to put on this facade. And that's why that's why this podcast is what it is or what it was with Made Women is because you're so relatable and you don't put on, it's not the filters. It's not all that other
As
Kim
long as we have
Kardashian
camera
stuff.
filters, just as long as we have camera
Yeah, as
filters.
long as there's good lighting. I'm not talking about visuals, people. I'm talking about what's in there, like what's down deep inside. And you don't bullshit people who you are or what's going on.
Well, you're the first person that's like, even tonight when I paid for dinner, that's like,
That's
let
so
me Venmo
stupid.
you. I'm like, are you fucking crazy? But that doesn't happen in my world. Do you understand?
I'm sharing my drink.
I'm going to be hammered if you keep doing that.
trying to get her drunk.
But
trying to get
that
her
doesn't
drunk.
happen in my world. You know, it happens with my closest friends, obviously.
Yeah, but I mean, who cares?
With my diehard bitches, and you know who they are.
yeah.
But that doesn't happen to me in general. Like I have to take care of everybody for the most part.
Well, I know you. I mean, that whole other thing, like you have your second mom, you know, who used to be your nanny, who now is 88 and heart
but she'll
transplant.
do anything to take care of us too.
But I'm just saying, you take care of her, this 88-year-old woman in your house. You're a full-time mom. Like you don't. I mean, I have,
Not lately.
I mean, because
I
we've
don't
been
feel like a
working
full-time
on this
mom
fucking
lately.
podcast. No, I know. Me neither. I'm the bad mom right here.
I feel like the bad mom right now.
Well, you know, actually, we're setting a really great example, I think, for the kids too.
I explain it to him every night. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm so sorry I'm not available right now. I
Yeah.
know I'm always available. You haven't experienced me not being available. But we're really trying to do something so that you can have more Nerf guns,
more video games,
more V-Bucks.
I don't know what's that? That kills me that they spent. That's a whole nother show. But yeah. Anyway, the fact that you just lay it out there and. Like you said, all of our podcasts, you're like, it's got to be real, Chris. There's editing. Well, no editing. Like, enough with the cuts. Enough
She
with
always
this.
wants to edit
I'm
out. And I'm
not-
like, fucking leave it.
I am not. That's how I'm busted and readjusted. I am not a fucking actress. I am not in this. And I want to
I've
like.
been private.
I want to edit things and make them look pretty and make them look cool. Cool. And she's like, no, man, that's it. Just leave it alone. Throw it out there. And it's refreshing. And I'm learning a lot from you.
I don't know me.
I
I don't know me, dude.
I think I
you
know
better
you
be
now.
careful. Because me not editing myself, there's a reason why I was never out there in the world the way other actresses have been. My publicist and I, like, we
She
parted
fired
ways
you, right?
early on
'Cause
because
you talk too
everyone
much.
knew that I had no edit,
Edit
button.
button.
So to put me in front of 3 fucking cameras right now and all these lights and a fucking microphone,
Well, it was different back then.
this is death
But your
for me.
PR, but it was different back then, right? Because when you were doing like all that crazy press, they want you to stay in this box and they want you to say exactly what they want you to say. And now the more outrageous or the more real people are, the more endearing and the more people can relate to it. And that is why we're doing this podcast.
No,
because
dude, back then I was sleeping with like 3 girls doing a ton of, I mean, it was more like, let's keep her in a box. It wasn't like keep them in a box.
Robbie's
It was
mother?
like, just keep Dre in a box.
Robbie's mother,
Just keep
her
Dre.
boyfriend's mother. I think her name's Renee.
Hey, Robbie.
She's just-
Robbie's our producer over there.
She's-
He's my boyfriend.
Yes.
Is your mom going to freak out? Renee,
She's-
I'm sorry.
she's
But
drunk.
Renee, you know what?
No,
I know that you've done some things, Renee, because I heard about how Robbie was conceived. And I think we're going to be just okay, Renee.
God,
Is it
God.
okay?
Just joking.
Robbie?
You do whatever you want.
oh,
Because you know what, Renee? By the time I turn 57, I will be born again. Again.
again.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Talking
what-
about spirituality.
Oh yeah,
That's another thing that's been important to us
yeah.
to a degree.
Well, we were. Yeah, I
Remember when
mean,
you brought me my little meditation chair to my house?
I did. I'm pretty nice. I'm pretty nice too. Listen, I feel like I used to be kind of a
You're
jerk.
the most generous person I have ever.
I think I grew
met.
into this person because I wasn't when it came. I was kind of a little bit more harsh and a little bit just like out for myself and not really thinking. I mean, not from like when I got cancer. When I got cancer,
I want to say something so bad.
go ahead, say it.
His mother, Robbie's mom, just had breast cancer. And she wrote him a text. Is it okay if I say this?
Yeah.
And she said, I wish that I had done. What did she say?
Are you
And
gonna cry?
I probably, because I thought about Chris and I thought about us and I thought about everything when you read that to me. But it was something like, had I known I was going to go through this, I just wish I had done more. What is it? You want me to read it?
I'm gonna cry if I read it.
Oh no, give it to her.
Too.
You think I can see this without my glasses?
You got your glasses on your head. Girl.
She said, I think Chris Kushner mentioned on one of the podcasts that she had double mastectomy done. Oh,
Go.
when you go through things in life, it gives. Oh, God. Okay. When you go through things in life, it gives more compassion, makes you wish you would have done a little more for others. write an extra note, or walked in a field of green with them. And
Oh
that's
my
what you
God.
do, dude.
But that is the
That's
thing.
what you
Oh
do.
my God, dude. Why did you read that?
And then he goes, "Oh, Mama, you're making me cry. You've done everything. You're the
Oh
most
my
generous, loving
God.
person of all time. We will walk in a field." I'm going to throw this phone at you, Robbie. Renee, I hope you're listening.
Chris. I feel like when you go through, your mom's amazing, by the way. To even write that to you, Robbie, that is unreal.
I know.
I mean, I'm so glad she listens too. That's pretty amazing.
I'm totally shocking and killing her all at once.
Oh my God.
That's not gonna get her. This is gonna get her. It's not the double mastectomy, Renee.
I
It's the
know.
girlfriend.
It's the girlfriend. Okay.
But that's you.
I really
You
thought,
walk through every field with me, Kushner. I am so lonely in
oh
LA.
my God.
And it's true.
Stop, don't say that. I was lonely too. I think we found each other for a reason.
This is so bad. Is there anything I can wipe my fucking face with?
Here.
Hello, Tushy. Oh, hello, Tushy. Ask me about my body.
I really thought I was going to die when I was going through when I first got diagnosed with breast
Oh my God,
cancer.
I can't.
And then I had a double mastectomy. I think people know my story a little bit.
No one knows your story.
I had
you know
to
what? I
have-
don't really know your story because you don't really talk about it that much. I talk nonstop.
I got diagnosed with the most aggressive kind of cancer that you can have but it was a low stage. So I diagnosed it really early, but it was a super fast growing one.
While you were nursing your child.
Yeah. Oh my God.
While you were nursing Frankie, Bama's best friend.
Yes. So when I was nursing my daughter.
We weren't friends yet.
No. So I had a 1-year-old and I had a 3-year-old. And I had literally just stopped nursing her. I felt a lump in my breast. I went to my doctor, my oncologist, and he said, "You're crazy." He said, "It's all in your head. Your head is not shutting your milk duct off. It's you. Come back in a couple months." And I knew something was wrong. I went back.
Pisces.
Yeah. And he's like, you're crazy. I was like, I'm not crazy. There's a lump in my right. I was like, I stopped breastfeeding. There's no lump. Long story short, I got another opinion. They said kind of the same thing. And I woke up one morning, went to sleep one night. Let me say this. Went to sleep one night. And the morning I woke up, the next morning, it literally something whispered in my
I
ear,
remember you telling me.
"You have breast cancer." I heard it.
It was me, and I didn't know you yet. It was
You
me.
did me in the dream because I know your ass is still sleeping because you sleep late. I was going to work out and I woke up and I turned to my husband and I was like, "I have breast cancer," and I just started bawling. And that's not my style. You know me. I
To even think that you would have that while you were nursing a baby.
I had just stopped maybe less than a month ago. But I obviously had cancer when I was nursing her, which is a whole nother worry of mine, which, we can obviously get into. Anyway, the crazy part of the story is I went for a biopsy. They found out that it was cancer. They thought that I had just had dense breasts or something. And they're like, no, it's cancer. My oncologist, a man, called me and he said, "Don't worry about it. Worst case scenario, you're just going to lose one breast." I was like, "You motherfucker." I was like, "Could you imagine?" I was like, "Oh, worst case scenario, you're just going to fucking lose your fucking penis." Like, you can't. I mean, come on, dude. Really? No. So, and he's like, "You're not going to have to go through chemo, anything. You're fine. You're just going to lose a breast." I'm like, "Fuck you." It was not that situation that he
It was worse.
Oh my God. I had to go through the whole gamut. Anyway, going through that, I was 37 at the time, and you reevaluate. People act strange to you. You reevaluate everything in your life, and it was the worst time of my life, and I think I've said this to you before, but also the most clearest, brightest time, because everything and everyone, you filter out. You filter out what you want, what you don't want, what's a waste of time. The time, every minute counted that I spent with those kids. And, I just remember laying in my backyard and I couldn't really, I was going through chemo. I was sick. And I just remember like I wanted to spend time with my daughter who was 1. And I would just go in my backyard, lay on the grass on my back and let her crawl on my body and just like protect my chest just so I can like be, outside with her doing like something. Yeah, I don't know. That whole experience definitely changed me for sure. I thought I was going to die. I went through a depression. I didn't get out of bed for like a month. I stopped eating. I thought everything that I was eating was killing me, was causing the cancer.
Well, that's been a huge part of our thing too.
Yeah,
is
health. Yeah, for sure.
And how to maintain that in the filthy world we live in.
Yeah,
It's a tough place to be right now with the way
to
everything
navigate.
is.
Yeah.
As
I
opposed
love
to,
that we're drinking on the podcast because we never do that.
I don't drink anymore, period.
I know. Well, anyway.
Jesus. But
But that's it, and I just think that since then it changed me and I just kind of got rid of it. Took me a little while. It's not like I was like overnight.
I didn't know you at that time.
But I had some people around me that were just negative, like chicks. Like, you feel like you try to find your groove and your group and you go through different groups in life and you're like, maybe these girls are cool. Maybe these girls are, my jam and people that are going to
You didn't even
support
trust
me.
Dave for a minute there. You were starting to lose your shit.
I lost my shit. Well,
And I get it. Like I don't know where.
oh my God.
I mean, you're so much more level-headed than I am. We have different ways of dealing with shit for
Yeah.
sure. But
Oh, but with Dave, oh my God.
you
was
were more
going-
like me in that instance.
Yeah, I was going crazy at that time. I literally thought I was dying. Like Dave and my husband and I have a great relationship, but during, that'll test anybody. That'll test
sure.
anybody. I mean, there was a point where I woke up after having a double mastectomy. I was working for the Grammy Foundation for like 12 years at that point. I remember doing an event like 2 weeks after, and I was like, I'm finally coming out of the clouds, and I'm like, what medicines do I have to take? What medicines?
Oh, I remember
Yes.
You thought he was trying to kill you.
I was like, he was like, you don't have to take these and these and these. I'm like, how could you not tell me that I really need? I had blood clots all over my body. I thought I was going to die. Nurses had to come to my
God.
house.
Where was I? Why
Nurses
wasn't I
had
a part
to come
of
to my
this?
house and give me steroids in my stomach so that I wasn't getting blood clots. I mean, it was a fucked up time.
And 2 little babies.
I know. And Dave and I made it out okay. The babies are okay. And look, I found
You're a hero.
No, everybody's a hero because you have no other.
Fucking hero.
But you have no choice. You have no choice. But, another busted and readjusted. I just feel like I'm jumping all over, but I feel like you have to, if you're put in a position in life and it sucks, like I had another busted and readjusted situation with a boyfriend. I had a totally abusive boyfriend in high school that, I after getting out of that relationship and fighting for my fucking life, basically, because this guy was obsessed and crazy with me. It's like I would just remember making a choice when that was done. Like, I am never gonna be with this type of guy. Like, it was a conscious choice not to
That's
make
why you liked me?
not to make the same
Because you were
pattern.
like, she's with one of these fucking guys?
Because I was like, this guy, no. I was
I
like,
got to get her out of this
I was like,
relationship.
this chick is like different. Like, I had to wrap my head around you. I'm like, she's like nothing, no other chick I've ever met. The way,
Stinky.
no, not stinky.
Stinky?
No,
Bad hygiene?
No,
Don't shave my armpits?
no, none of that
That's what it was.
stuff. No, you're just real, man.
Oh.
It's tough. It's tough.
I mean, I
being-
really want to go 10 layers deeper into your,
This is not an
Cancer?
interview. This is not Chris' interview.
but I'm not going to do it.
Oh, you
I
can.
won't
I
do
don't
it.
give a shit. I'm an open book. You can. Oh, you want to go? What are you? I'm scared now. This is what she does. This is why I'm scared. She's like, what caused the cancer? What happened in your family growing up? Go ahead. Bring it on. Bring it on.
No, because your family's still alive.
It's okay. Do you know what
No,
they
no,
say?
no.
Hold on. I want to say one thing because I haven't been talking enough, right? Joking. I got a massage today, and the massage therapist, who Julie,
You
she's
sent her
awesome.
to, this is why I love you. You sent her to my house. No one's ever done that for me. You sent the massage therapist to my house as a gift one day.
I did.
No, I never
But
even
you-
knew that something like that could exist. Like that
But
kind of
didn't either,
generosity existed.
This other wonderful, beautiful person
Did
sent
that
her
for
to
you.
me. And I was like, you know what? She sent her to me. I have to pass it on. So I'm going to send it to a friend that I think could use it right now. And then you pass it on to your 88-year-old mother and like all this other things. But what was I going to say? I had something to say. Oh, so the massage therapist says to me today, we were talking about breast cancer because I was like, don't.
Julie's the best, by the way.
She's amazing. She said, do you know that breast cancer normally, I mean, she's got all these crazy ideas.
I know.
Is when you mothered something.
Mm-hmm.
Something about you mothered something
I don't know if you should-
didn't need mothering.
I don't know if you should talk about
No,
this.
it's okay. It's okay. Because it is what it is. And I was like,
Anita's
what?
alive.
Anita's alive.
I can talk about Donna as much as I want.
My
My mom's
mother-
alive, but she's like asleep.
My mother, and this is what I said to Julie, and I would say it, I've said it to my mother. My mother and my father had a crazy relationship when they were married the first time because they're married again.
I love this
Together.
story though.
But they had a crazy relationship the first time. I always say they were really bad at being married together. My dad cheated. My mom just held on for too long because she's a Christian.
Is Anita going to be okay with this?
She's gonna be fine. Anita,
When she
you're
hear
gonna be
Anita,
fine. You're gonna.
we're talking a lot of shit here today. Are you going to be okay with this, Anita?
I don't know if she has an option.
We love you, Anita.
Really great parents. Really bad at being married at that
They
time.
were learning.
They were learning.
They were just learning.
And I think that at a young age, maybe 8 to, I don't know, like 3rd grade to high school or whatever, my mom needed some help, a lot more help. And I felt like, she was put in a situation. My dad was an awesome dad. But like I said, he didn't have the tools. He had a rough life too. You relate this back to your
Always.
mother and your grandmother. And you say,
Yes.
like, look, they did the best they could. My parents did the best they could. I have a great relationship with them now. And they're back together, which is weird.
I love that.
And they have a great relationship together now. I mean, they still bicker like crazy.
I love it.
But they've lived and learned. They've busted each other and they totally readjusted together now in their old age.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool. But I was like, are you guys sure you want to get remarried to each other? Like,
I love it.
she's like, but anyway, but yeah, so people say that. And that's what Julie said to me today. She's like, do you think?
Yeah.
You
That was
mothered-
my mom's story. And I always tell you, you remind me of my mom with her grandma to
Yeah.
a certain degree from the
Yeah.
stories that you've told me.
I mean, yeah, it's crazy. Like I'm just, it was hard. My mom wanted that whole rose-colored glass picture of her family
Yeah.
because she's, a born-again Christian. And
Was she
this
born
and
a
that.
Christian back then?
She was. I think she started. She
wasn't raised Catholic?
She was raised
I
Catholic.
mean, we were all
Catholic,
raised Catholic.
but when I was in her belly, she became a born-again Christian. So it was like that. And she was always trying to convert my father. And my father was a Catholic, and it would be always a crazy argument within the family. Like, who's going to Catholic church this Sunday? Who's going to Christian church? It was nonstop. So, that was a lot. But,
Well, I think a huge part of our paths, all of us,
Mhm.
including, say, like Michael Franzese, who was on our show, and a lot
great.
of other people that want to come on the show already, just by knowing that we're here and
Yeah.
that we're about to do this. I think that healing the wounds of our ancestors is huge.
That's what Julie was talking about today.
Fucking
Yeah.
thing,
Yeah. And her thing was, which I found so powerful, because at first I was like, no, I don't have that. And she's like, if you identify it and like accept it, and then you can let it go.
Yeah. Well, I have. I mean, I've been doing that my whole life.
Are you not drinking?
Okay. Remember, I'm supposed to be sober sometimes. No, just kidding.
Anyway.
I got sober when I was 21, guys,
Yeah.
but that didn't last long.
Well, now you're totally responsible.
Well, I'm readjusted in a different way.
Yeah.
Not everybody can handle themselves the way I have.
Yeah.
So it's different for everybody. But yeah, I think that wounding the healings of our
Wounding the
ancestors,
soul.
wounding the healers of our ancestors. No, I think that's a really big thing because, I mean, I know for me, I always say this, I usually, it's a disclaimer whenever I meet someone new, a man, so that they're not shocked by it.
Mm-hmm.
But I always have to say, hey, just so you know, I was born with a broken heart.
Oh,
So whatever happens, like,
why do you say that?
because it's true.
Why-
I remember being a baby in my crib and feeling like my heart was broken.
Oh my God.
I mean,
I'm with
total-
you. Just why?
That's just the way it was. And I remember when Blackjack was born, I remember Bama's nursery school teacher, and she saw my big stomach, and she goes, "What day are you guys having him?" Because she knew it was scheduled. I said they picked April 11th.
Mm-hmm.
She hands me the birthday book, and I read it, and it says all this crazy shit about his anger and about all this stuff. And she was like, "Maybe you want to change the date?" And I was like,
Oh,
"Hell no!" I was like,
no.
"It's 4/7/11. That's a great number."
Yeah.
I believe in a lot of that stuff, how things sort of align. And I came here at a certain time, and at that time, I was probably bringing all of this fucking baggage with me. And I think Blackjack came with a chip on his fucking shoulder.
Oh, he's so cool,
He's
man.
so feisty. But he picked me.
love
I
him.
believe he picked me because he knew that he'd have to work through certain things from his past lives
Mhm.
or my ancestors. I mean, you know where I come from, and we
Yeah.
haven't gotten into that in this episode, but we always get into it in every episode.
And we can't get into this episode
if-
because we have 15 minutes left.
And if you guys ever watch Made
you like
Women,
that, Robbie, don't you?
we're almost done here today, guys. But if you tune in, we'll
There'll
tell
be
you
more of these.
all about
There'll be
Dre
more-
and Chris. This
Our
is
drunk soap.
this is our drunk episode. This is where we divulge. This is our divulge episode. What should we name it?
I don't
Hey,
know.
can you guys write in if we air this? We want you guys involved.
Yes.
This is the birth of
Gangster
our new
Goddess.
podcast.
At gmail.com?
I don't know.
I think it's
They'll find out.
gangstergoddess@gmail.com.
But we want to, this was another thing. On Made Women, we were involving fans in stuff, and we want to do that again. We felt like the payoff wasn't going to be as good when we were there. Here, now that it's ours, it's really ours.
Gangster Goddess broadcast at
Yes.
gmail.com.
So if there's things you want to ask us or things you want to talk about, even at some point,
Or
once
want
we,
us to talk about.
yeah, but
Yeah,
once we get
subject
really
matter.
get on our feet, once we're really on our feet and we have a whole season of Sopranos rewatch in front of us, then we can start getting into even bringing fans on and talking
I
about
would
their shit,
love that.
you know?
How were they busted and readjusted?
Yes.
Yes.
That's where we're at right now. I know everybody wants to hear celebrities fucking talk about their shit, but like,
We'll have
yes,
some of them
everybody
on.
has a story,
Everybody.
but I
As
also
long as
feel
it's
like
genuine.
I guess because I don't consider myself, I'm an actor. I was never
Oh,
a celebrity. I was never a fucking celebrity. And that was the one thing I never knew how to do. And which is why I never went the distance with myself. I kind of stayed over here. And now I'm doing a fucking podcast, and now I'm in here.
Yeah.
But I'm also like
right
190 years old, so I don't really care what you all know about me. It's not so precious anymore. And our whole purpose with the Soprano rewatch, which we call a relate more, is that if we tell our story, people can relate to it in some way. People watch movies so they can find a piece of themselves in there. When we listen to Michael
Yeah.
Francese talk, he doesn't tell his mob story from a place of, hey, look what I did. How fucking cool was I?
Yeah.
He's telling a story so he can help people not make the same mistakes. So some people can maybe relate to something that he says that day,
I think
and
it's
they can take a
about-
piece with them.
It's about keeping it real. And we live in a world right now with Instagram and all these influencers that are painting this picture that is not real.
I paint a picture that we're having a lot of fun all the time on my Instagram. But I do have, but you know
I'm
what? I
saying we
don't
do.
post unless I'm having fun. I'll go dark when I'm not having fun. You
But
will
there's
not,
people who are posting
you won't
even when
see
they're
me. You
but
won't
there's
hear a
people-
fucking word from me when I'm depressed. Go look at my timeline and you'll see when I've been depressed.
There are people that even when they are depressed, they're taking selfies with a fucking smile.
So, yeah.
Anyway,
I'm drunk.
I
just
mean,
kidding.
I think I am too. I think we might have divulged a little too much.
We laughed,
I
we
don't
cried, we busted, we readjusted.
Yeah.
Anyway, more than anything, I think what we meant to talk about, well, at least what I meant to talk about, is I'm a little nervous starting this thing
I know.
all over again. And I'm a little nervous about,
But there'll be our mistakes. And that is,
not even that. I
don't-
woke
I
up
don't-
this morning with a terrible headache.
I know.
And I thought, I think that I'm afraid of failing and I'm afraid of succeeding my whole life.
Oh,
I'm
that's
afraid of
interesting.
both.
Why succeeding?
Where's the middle ground?
Why are you afraid of succeeding?
I think I'm afraid of success too. I'm afraid of the
Yeah.
whole
We
f***ing
had
thing.
it to a crazy level.
I did.
So I think that that it might be if I had it to that level that you had, especially
I never
with,
had crazy financial
it doesn't
success,
matter,
though.
but the fact that you had fame and that to you in the acting field and winning the Emmys and all that I mean, that's gotta be scary. I never looked at it from
You know
that
what's
point
scarier?
of view. What?
All of that, but not really having any money.
Oh, that is fucking scary. Are you f***ed up? You should have been. I should have been your manager then. I'm not your manager.
Oh
I'm
my
not her manager now.
God.
Oh my god.
Because I was the actor who never wanted to talk to their manager or their agent. I was like, I don't need any hand holding. It's cool. Just leave me alone.
Just leave me alone.
You know, I'd
Wow.
rather just hang out with my rock star boyfriend or something. That was me.
And now you have 2 beautiful babies.
2 beautiful babies. And my whole life's purpose, I think, really is about wherever someone's busted, let me just help readjust.
Readjust them. I know, and that's
That's
why
my
this
life.
series is so segment. Yeah, I know you want me to say segment is so special to me, and I feel like it's just like this is our baby. This is our baby that we haven't really birthed yet. Birthed, but we're
So
trying.
you guys are going to do it with us. So
Yeah.
write in, tell us whatever you want to tell us to go f yourselves. Well, you guys, I
Be
don't want to hear
kind.
your bullshit and Dre's fucking crying and Chris is fucking,
stupid.
you know, but I
Messing up
still want to
for-
go deeper into the breast cancer thing, and I will at some point.
Mhm.
And then Chris can ask me questions too.
I know.
Plus, we're going to have a lot of my friends on that have been busted and readjusted.
Mine too. I got some girls.
Mine have all been in jail.
Okay, well, okay, you win. Okay, why don't you sign us out?
Guys, thank you for listening to us on Gangster Goddess Broadcast. How much do we sound like we're doing an old radio show? Like some,
I like
hey,
it.
how are you guys? This is us tuning in from WPZX.
PZX, Gangster Goddess.
We're naked as we broadcast.
Oh, wait, it's a sex line all of a sudden. It went from old FM to a sex line.
Those lines
Okay.
were crazy.
They were crazy, but we
I'm
would
talking
crank
too much.
them. Just zip it. Okay.
Okay. And also, by the way, did anyone else feel this way?
No, just-
Listeners out there, can you please write into Gangster Goddess Broadcast and let us know if you're 48 years old like me,
I'm gonna
did you
say
call those phone calls, those phone numbers of those ladies going,
Listen to me. Stop. No one's answering you. No one's answering her.
they're all cutting
No
it.
one's answering.
Robbie's laughing in the corner.
Okay,
Chris is dying.
Everybody was
put a
curious.
toothpick in my
I'm
mouth.
just going to say this because I'm being protective. Everyone's curious. Look at you.
What about the Jerky Boys? How about the Jerky Boys?
We all, yes, of course.
I love the Jerky Boys. Anyway, thanks for tuning into Gangster Goddess Broadcast.
And gangstergoddessbroadcast.com. Hit subscribe, please.
Smash that button.
Smash the button.
5 stars. Don't f around.
Don't f-
Somebody
around.
will come breaking
we are,
kneecaps.
we are working hard, people.
Gangster Goddess Broadcast is a UV Ways and Monkey Mind Music Group production. Theme song by UV Ways.